Hey everyone, welcome to Code Harmony. Today we are going to solve this question 1790. Check if one string swap can make strings equal. This question has been asked in Do Dash, Meta and Amazon. It's based out of these concepts: string, hashing and counting. It's marked as easy. Let's have a look on the problem statement. We are given two strings, S1 and S2. Both are of equal length. And they are also saying there is a string swap operation. And this operation is going to do, you can choose two indices from a string. Let's say those two indices are I and j, and swap the character at these indices. This is the operation that we have to perform, that we are allowed to perform, and return true if it is possible to make both strings equal by performing at most one string swap operation on exactly one string, otherwise return false. And what is this string swap operation? Let's say our string is bank, and if I choose two indices, let's say this is the I index and this itself is the j index, this we can do. So in this case it is not going to swap any value. If I just take n as j, so it will be something like n a b k. So first string will become this from this, and now you have to see whether this string you are able to make equal to the string 2. This is a problem statement. So if you have a look on this example, first string is bank, second string is k, a and b. And if I just choose first string and see, if I just make one string swap operation, can I form string 2? If I just swap b and k, it will become something like this: k, a and b, which is equal to the second string. So yes, in this case we have to return yes, otherwise we have to return false. And we are allowed to make this operation only one time. It means only one swap is feasible. As we are allowed to make only one swap, it means if after making one swap the strings become equal, then we can get the answer. But what if there are multiple characters which are different? And why we are picking this as I and this as j? Because the characters at this index were not matching in both the string. At j, the characters were not matching in both the strings. If the characters are not matching, it means we might have to make a swap operation. We have some possibility that after making swap operation, we can make these two strings equal. So okay, so we are only going to pick these indices if the characters are not matching. One swap operation in any string, if after the swap operation both the strings are becoming equal, then we have to return boolean, which is true or false. Now how do we do this? First of all, we have to make sure that only at max two characters are different from these two strings, right? What if there is any other character? Let's say यहाँ पे we have b and यहाँ पे we have e. If b and e are there, so these two characters are also different. Okay, so even if we make one swap operation, we are not able to make those equal. So in this case, we are going to return directly false. Why? Because three characters are not matching. Character at max two characters should be different. What about there is only one character different? Let's say b a n k a n. In this case, the first character is different. But how do we make the swap operation? We are not able to get it done. So in this case also we are not able to get the answer. So only if these two characters are different, then only we can get the answer. Otherwise we are not getting the answer. So how do we do it? First of all, we need to know that there is only two characters which are different. Two character indices which are different, I and j. Or there might be the case whether both the strings are already same. And after that, what we can do is, do we have to capture the frequency? Let's have a look on the constraints. S1, S2 both contains lowercase English letters. It means we can capture the frequency in 26 size array. Now let's have a look on the approach. First approach is using hashtable, hashing. It means that as we are having lowercase English letters, we can capture the frequency of those letters in a 26 size array. 26 size array where index 0 is mapped to index A, count of A, index 1 is mapped to count of B in the string, and so on. And what we can do is, we can have two array. Let's say both the strings are this. This is the first string, this is the second string. If I just prepare the frequency array of this string, first string will become A is coming one time, B is coming one time, C is coming one time. And what about the second one? C is coming one time, B is coming one time, A is coming one time. And also when we are preparing the frequency, both the strings are of same length that is given. And when we are preparing the frequency, it means we are iterating over the string. We can keep track of the difference count. Whenever there is a difference at this position, we'll just make it increment. If this difference count is greater than 2, then we can directly return false. This is not feasible to make it equal by only one swap. But if it is not greater than 2, then we can just compare this frequency array. Right? If the difference count is 1 or 0, if the frequency array is becoming same, we will be able to achieve that. So one thing is that you can just prepare the frequency array and compare them. And along with that, just keep the track of this difference count. So in this case, what is the time and space complexity? The time complexity is order of n and space complexity is order of 26, which is also constant. Right? Now, in this case, as we are allowed to capture only two indices, I and j, if two indices where the characters are different in both the string, so no need to take this 26 size array. So here comes the second approach. Only capture differences. If I just only capture differences, at the first position there is a difference. Difference index 1 is equal to 0. These are same, and these are also different. So different index 2 is equal to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what I have captured is that different index 1 is this, different index 2 is this, and how I'm going to capture this. And let's say if the differences are more than 2, then difference count, different index count, that I will also keep on storing. Initially at this index 0 position, it is becoming 1. At index 3, it is becoming 2. So different count is 2. I will just put a condition: if DC is greater than 2, then directly return false. Otherwise, you have captured what are those two indexes where the characters are different. Then you can directly check if this is equal to this and if this is equal to this. If that is the case, then swap is possible. Otherwise, swap is not possible. And what if there is only one character different? Then also the swap is not possible. So in this case, what I did is I iterated from 0 to n-1 and I captured the difference count and difference index of 1, different index of 2. Let's say this is I, this is j. This is my approach in this case. We will write a code for this, then you will have more understanding. And in this approach, what is going to be the time complexity and space complexity? Time complexity will be order of n because we are doing a single iteration, and space complexity is also constant in this case. Both approaches are fine. Why we are able to do the previous approach? Because we are given that it is having only lowercase English letters. If there is too much possibility of these letters, then this approach is better because we are only capturing the differences, different indices I and j. Now let's have a look on the code. This is the code I have written here. In this case, firstly I have captured the string length. Both the strings are of the same length. First index where the characters are different. Second index where the characters are different. Initially both are -1, and the difference count B and K are different at index 0. K and B are different at index 3, and if there is one more index where characters are different, in that case we are not able to achieve our goal to make both string equal. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to have a loop till the end. S1 dot character at I is not equal to S2 dot character at I. If two characters are not same, if those are not same, only in that case it's a concerning factor. If both are not same, then see whether it is the first index where the characters are not same or the second index. If the difference count is greater than 0, it means it is definitely the second index. Otherwise it is the first index, and increment the different count. And after that, just make this loop. If different count is equal to 2, we can have a condition here as well. If different count is greater than 2, then return false directly. No need to check further. But if the difference count is 2, then we have to see whether we are able to swap or not. But if the difference count is 1, difference count is 1, then also it is not possible. Just return false. And how do we check the swap position? First index S1 first index is equal to S2 second index, and S2 first index is equal to S1 second index. The swap condition. I'm just checking. I'm just directly returning it. Otherwise, if both the strings are already same, then return true. So this is the code for this approach. Let me run again, because I have done some modification. It's working fine. I'm submitting the problem. It's submitted successfully and 100% faster. I hope you understood the approach. Thank you guys. Bye bye.